This is week 5, build and deploy an AI generated web page. The first task was to set up a GitHub account. I already had a GitHub account, so mostly I was curious to learn about Copilot, and I signed up for a free trial. The next task was to fork the base repository. All I had to do was click fork, so not too bad of a task. The next task was to consult ChatGPT and launch CodeSpace. I first consulted ChatGPT on the recipe page layout. This was the original layout that it gave me. I copied ChatGPT's code into my CodeSpace. I was impressed GPT provided CSS to arrange the ingredients and instructions columns left and right instead of plain stacked. All I told it to do was create a layout for a recipe page with no specific instructions. Even though the layout was pretty good, I wanted to play around with it. So I asked GPT to update the code with a banner image at the very top instead of below the page title. After generating the layout recipe page, the next step was to update the visual style. For this step, I asked GPT to enlarge the headers and narrow the body text. But for some reason, modifying the text led to changing the page width. It was frustrating to have to manually troubleshoot that problem. I capped off styling by asking ChatGPT to convert the page to dark mode and add texture. I figured a nice charcoal color would be perfect for the real recipe I wanted, which wasn't pancakes. Really what I wanted was a barbecue brisket recipe. I only asked ChatGPT, for content, I only asked ChatGPT to update it so that it wasn't about pancakes, but about briskets. I was impressed that it didn't dump the text just anywhere, but specifically updated the ingredients and instructions in their respective sections. The next task was to develop the recipe page using GitHub AI. The first item I tested was the suggested completions within code spaces. I changed the aspect ratio of the banner image through a CSS comment and through the inline feature, and that was easy enough. The Copilot suggestions worked for HTML comments as well, but as you can see, it didn't automatically stylize the section I wanted to add with the same CSS as the other sections. Another exercise in developing the recipe page was to chat with Copilot. I wanted chat to help me update that related recipe section to match other sections. It's fine that it didn't provide the code like ChatGPT did, but it gave me instructions that were maybe too abstract. I still had to read documentation to apply it. So overall, I did not find the chat panel to be too helpful. Rather, what I preferred was relying on the inline suggestions and Command I. Using that method, I was able to quickly restyle the related recipes section to match to other sections. Command I overall was my favorite AI feature of CodeSpaces. It was even able to instantly give me an interactive related recipes menu. When it came to the interactive carousel, however, even Command I couldn't save me, at least not right away. I had a really hard time. I thought I could turn to ChatGPT to update the code holistically, but for some reason it couldn't get it to work. I think it was a good lesson to learn about the boundaries of coding with AI. Doing this part of the exercise, I learned that maybe AI is good at generating code, but it may not be so good at piecing it together. So what I ended up doing was building the carousel in pieces. I would ask for something simple and then layer on more advanced features. For example, I asked for a static display of 6 images and left and right arrow buttons. Then I asked to only display 2 of those images. Then I asked to hide those images and show the next or previous images when using the arrow buttons. After much trial and error, it was finally time to publish the site on GitHub Pages. Very exciting. So after deploying the pages, I committed my work. And this was the final result. To be fair, I did have one last bug that I was surprised neither Copilot nor ChatGPT caught. Apparently, my script.js wasn't being referenced in the HTML. It took me a little bit to figure out why the carousel wasn't working. And well, that's it for week 5, build and deploy an AI generated web page assignment. I hope you enjoyed it. Bon appetit!